Hi everyone. In the last video, we were discussing about compiler and we have seen what is a compiler, what is the basic structure of a compiler and what are the phases in the compiler design. In that, the first phase is the lexical analysis phase. So in this video, we are going to learn about lexical analysis phase. As we discussed in the last video, this is the first phase in the compiler design. Lexical analyzer is also calling as scanner or token analyzer because the primary task of a lexical analysis phase is to read character by character in the source program from left to right and group them into tokens. And it is a scanning process, that means scan line by line from the source program. That's why it is calling as a scanner, as well as it is grouping the source program into sequence of tokens. That's why it is also calling as token analyzer. Now we have to know what is a token. Tokens are sequence of characters having collective meaning. Okay, so how are we going to recognize the tokens? In a source program, tokens will be separated by break characters. Okay, so what are the break characters? Like blank space, operators, keywords, etc. These are the break characters. So the tokens will be always separated by break characters. In that way, we will be recognizing tokens. And the typical tokens in a programming language are identifiers, literals, and terminal symbols. Identifiers are nothing but variables. So here you can see few examples for the identifiers. Example A, B, count, etc. So it always starts with the alphabetic letter, then it will be followed by 30 more characters. If it is there, it will be containing alphabetic characters or underscore. Then we have next category of tokens, that is literals or constants, that is the numbers or quoted character string. These are the few examples for constants or literals. Example 60, comma, the string high within the quotes. Then we have third category of tokens, that is terminal symbols. Terminal symbols are including operators, keywords, and special symbols. So operators, we know what is operator. So it will be including assignment operator, arithmetic operators, etc. So here I have mentioned a few examples for the operators, plus, minus, star, etc. Then keywords. Keywords are also calling as the token type terminal symbols. So here I have mentioned a few examples for the keywords. If, go to, procedure, main, etc. all are the keywords. Okay, this also comes under the terminal symbols category of tokens. Then we have special symbols. Example, brackets, braces, semicolon, angle brackets, comma, etc. So these are the typical tokens of a programming language. Mainly we have three types tokens: identifier, literals, and terminal symbols. So the primary task of the lexical analysis phase is to convert the source program into a sequence of tokens. Then the secondary task is to remove extra white spaces and comment lines. Whatever be the source program which is in high level language, it will be given to the first phase, that is the lexical analysis phase, and it will generate the source program as a sequence of tokens. When it is generating the output in the form of sequence of tokens, if there are any extra white spaces and comment lines, it will be removed in this particular phase. So lexical analysis phase will remove the extra white spaces as well as comment lines in the output. Now we'll see what is the definition of a lexical analysis phase. It is the action of parsing the source program into the proper syntactic classes. So the proper syntactic classes are nothing but your tokens. That is, if it is a identifier or a literal or a terminal simples. So parsing the source program into the proper syntactic classes. So what are the main functions of the lexical analysis phase? So the first function is to scan each line of code of source program and convert them into tokens. Read character by character from the source program and check for the break character or break symbol. Whenever you see the break character, till that break character, what all non-break characters are there, it will be grouped and it will form as a token. Okay, so I have told you we have basically three types of tokens, that is literals, identifiers and terminal symbols. Once we recognize these tokens, the next function of the lexical analysis phase is to build the databases for these tokens, to store these tokens. So we have literal table to store the literal names and its attributes, identifier table to store the identifier name and its attributes, then terminal table, it is the permanent database which includes all the terminal symbols. Apart from these three tables, we have another table, that is the uniform symbol table. Uniform symbol table is using to represent the entire source program as a string of tokens, as a sequence of tokens. Usually the source program will be reading as a sequence of characters. So here, by using uniform symbol table, we can generate our source program as a sequence of tokens. So the uniform symbol table will be containing the tokens and where we can find the attributes for those tokens. So these are the main functions of a lexical analysis phase. So these two functions are will be happening in two steps. So in the first step, it scans each line of the source program, then it will be recognizing the tokens, and as I told you, tokens are separated by break characters. Break characters are nothing but the blank space operators and special symbols. Whenever we find these break characters, till that break character, what all non-break characters are there, it will group and form a tokens. So that tokens can be either an identifier or a literal or a terminal symbol. Then the second step is, once we recognize the tokens, we have to store those tokens into the respective databases or tables. Here we'll consider an example. Here I have given a program. Okay, so here this is the procedure statement. First line is the procedure statement. So it is WCM is the label and procedure, this is the keyword, and it is containing three variables or identifiers: rate, start, finish. Then the second line or statement is a declare statement. So it is declaring the variables cost, rate, start, finish, and the attributes of the variables are also given here. Then we have assignment statement. That means we are assigning what is the value of the identifier cost. Then we have a return statement, and we have a return statement. So it will be returning the value of the identifier cost, and we have the end statement. This is the program we have. Now we are going to explain the entire phases of the compiler with this example. Okay, so we are discussing about the first phase, lexical analysis phase. As I told you, it involves two steps. In the first step, it is recognizing the tokens. So here each rectangle box is representing each token. So first we'll start with WMC. So what the lexical analysis or the lexical analyzer will do? It will read character by character. That means first it will read W, then it will read M, then it will read C, then it will read colon. So when it reaches colon, colon is a break character. So it will stop there until that break character, that is colon. What all characters are there, it will form into a token. So the first token will be WMC. Okay, and the next one is a break character. So again it is a token. Then we will roll. Okay, so what is WMC? WMC is a label, right? So label, we know that it is starting with the alphabets, and it is of the type token identifier. Okay, since it is a label, it will be of the type token identifier. Okay, then we have the break character colon. Colon means what? It is the special symbol. Special symbol is of type token terminal symbol. Then it will read P R O C E D U R E. Again it will read another break character, that is the bracket. So what will happen? Till this break character, it will group all those characters, and the token will be of type what? Again it will be of type identifier, right? Sorry, it will not be identifier, it is a keyword, right? Procedure is a keyword. Okay, so here the procedure is, since it is a keyword, it will be of type terminal symbol token. Then again bracket symbol. So since it is a break character, this is again a token, and it is of the type terminal symbol. Like that, each character by character will read from left to right, and it will group into tokens. Okay, so each tokens are separated by break characters. Break characters are special symbols and operators and keywords. Operators and non-alphanumeric symbols. Okay, so these are the break characters. Okay, and it will group into mainly three types of tokens, that is identifier, literals, and terminal symbols. So identifiers are the variables, then literals are the constants. So you can see here 31, 200, these are the constant. So these are of type literal tokens. Then we have the terminal symbols. Terminal symbols includes the keywords, procedure, and the special symbols and operators. So the brackets, semicolon, then the operators plus star, then the keyword, procedure, everything will be, and a keyword declare will be of the type token terminal symbol. So this is the first step, that is the scanning each line by line and group them into sequence of tokens. Now the entire program has been represented as a group of sequence of tokens. This is the first step, and it has recognized the tokens. What is the second step? As I mentioned, the second step is store these recognized tokens into the respective tables. In the lexical analysis phase, we have mainly 4 tables. Okay, terminal table, literal table, identifier table, and uniform symbol table. So we'll see one by one what are the databases involved in the lexical analysis phase. That is the second phase. Once we recognize the tokens, store the tokens along with the attributes into the respective databases or tables. So the first one is source code. Source code means what? The original form of the program appears to the compiler as a string of character. Okay, so here the source code is your high level language program. It will be reading as character by character. Okay, then the compiler will see the source program as a sequence of characters. Okay, then we have the another database, that is the terminal table. Terminal table means what? It is, this particular table is not creating by the lexical analysis phase. It is a permanent database available in the system. Okay, so what is the content of this database? It is predefined database. The database will be containing an entry for each terminal symbols. Okay, so make a note, it is not, this particular table is not creating by the lexical analysis phase. It is a permanent database. It will be having an entry for each terminal symbol. So this particular terminal table will be containing all the terminal symbols of that particular language, source program language. That means if it has written in Java programming language, what are the possible terminal symbols of that Java language will be already included or defined in the terminal table. Okay, so look into the terminal table. You can skip this, the first column, it is just giving the index of that entry. So the main three columns of the terminal table database are symbol. Symbol means it is giving the symbol. Okay, so first one you can say this is the colon. Colon is a what? It is a special symbol. Since it is a special symbol, it is of the token type terminal table. Okay, then the second column gives the indicator. That means indicator column tells that whether this symbol is a break character or not. Okay, so we know that colon is a special symbol and it is a break character. So that's why it is mentioned the indicator as yes. So colon is the symbol and indicator tells whether the symbol is a break character or not. That is the indicator column. Then precedence column. This precedence column value will be filled by coming phases. That means in the next phases, what all phases, in the next phases of the compiler, this particular column will be filled. So at present in the lexical analysis phase, what this already defined, it is a permanent database, and what is the content in the database? All the special symbols, that is all the operators, keywords and non-alphanumeric symbols of that source program language will be defined, and there will be an indicator. It tells that whether that particular symbol is a break character or not. Okay, so here we have, you can see the symbols colon, semicolon, and these all are the break characters, right? Operators and special symbols will be break character. But what about keywords? Declare is a keyword, procedure is a keyword, but it is not a break character, right? It is not a break character. That's why here the value is no. Okay, so terminal table means what? It is the permanent database. It contains all the terminal symbols, along with that an indication to tell whether it is a break statement or break symbol or not. Okay, so if it is a break symbol, then we can group till that break character, what all symbols are there, what all characters are there, we can group them into tokens. Okay, so here this is the permanent database. It is not creating by the lexical analysis phase. It contains all the symbols and an indicator. Then it will be having a third column, that is the precedence column. In this precedence column, the value will be filled by the coming phases of the compiler. So this is the terminal table second database. Then we have literal table. So literal table is representing by LIT. Okay, so literal table is representing by LIT, terminal table is representing by TRM. What is the purpose of literal table? What is a literal? Literal means constants. Okay, so literal table contains all the tokens of the type constants, okay, or literals. So what all constants or literals are there in our source program, it will be stored into the literal table along with some attributes. Okay, so look into the literal table. We have 6 columns for each literal table. Okay, so the first column tells the literal. As I showed you our source program, we had 3 constants in that, 31 to 100. So these are the 3 constants in our source program. So what is the base value of that? Since it is a decimal number, the base will be decimal, that is 10. Okay, and the scale and precision Then other information and address. Address means where are we going to store this particular constant. In the lexical analysis phase, by looking into the particular constant value, lexical analysis phase can fill the 4-column value, that is literal, base, scale and precision. But the other information and address column value will be filled by the coming phases. Okay, so that is the literal table. Literal table will store all the constants, tokens in the source program along with a few attributes. In that, the literal name, base, scale and precision column will be filled in the lexical analysis phase, whereas the other information and address column will be filled by the coming phases of the compiler design. Okay, then we have identifier table. Identifier table means what? It is containing, identifier means what? It is the variable, right? So what all variables or labels we have used in our source program, all those variables or the labels will be stored into the identifier table. Identifier table contains 3 columns: name of the identifier, data attribute and address. Address means where are we going to store the particular variable in the memory. But data attribute and address column value will be filled by the coming phases of the compiler. So at present, the lexical analysis phase will add only the variables names into the identifier table. So when you look into our source program, you can see here we have WCM is the label, so it will be of the type identifier. Then cost, rate, start, finish, these are the other variables. Okay, so these variables will be stored into the identifier table. So we have identifiers WCM, rate, start, finish, cost. These are the variables we have used in our source program. So we have made an entry into the identifier table for these. At present, lexical analysis phase will only add the names of the identifiers in the table. This is the another database using in the or creating in the lexical analysis phase. Then we have a very important one, that is the uniform symbol table. Uniform symbol table means what? I told you in the beginning of the video, that is uniform symbol table is using to represent the entire source program as a string of tokens. Okay, that means I told you in the beginning when I explained the phases of the compiler, I have taken one example, position equal to initial plus rate star 60. And when I gave this particular statement as input to the lexical analyzer, what was the output of the lexical analyzer? The output was ID1 equal to ID2 plus ID3 star 60. What happened here? The entire statement has been converted into a stream of tokens. In order to generate this stream of tokens representation of the source program, we are using the uniform symbol table. So what was the first statement in our source program? WCM colon procedure, and within the brackets it declared 3 variables: rate, comma, start, comma, finish, then so on, right? So the first statement was declaring the label name and declaring the procedure, right, with the 3 variable, right? So what are we going to do is, so first it will read the first token. So what is the first token? WCM. So we are reading the first token. So the first token is WCM. This is of type which token class? It belongs to which token class? It is an identifier, right? So it will add the table class as IDN. That means we are reading the first token from the source program. First token from the source program is WCM and it is of the type identifier. So the table class will be IDN, which means actually it is a pointer to the identifier table. Okay, so and what is the index number of the token WCM in the table IDN? Look into that identifier table. See here, this is the identifier table. What is the index number of the WCM? 1. So here the index value will be 1. So for each and every token, it will read one by one from the source program, and it will give the token class in the first column. So since WCM is an identifier, the table class will be IDN, and in the identifier table where we can find the attributes of the WCM in the index 1. So here, so the WCM token belongs to which table and what is the index number for that particular token in the IDN table, that will be given here. Then after that WCM, what is the next token in our source program? Colon, right? Colon means what? It is a special symbol. Since it is a special symbol, what is the table class? TRM, that is the terminal table. That means the information about the colon will be available in the TRM table, that is terminal table. Where is that colon and what is the index of that? 1. Okay, so we can give, so colon is the next token we are reading, and it will be of class TRM because it is a terminal symbol. The data about colon will be available in the terminal table, so the class will be TRM. Then what is the index value of this particular symbol colon in the terminal table? That is 1. So that index value we have given here. Then what is the next token according to the source program? So we have done WMC, then colon we have taken. Next, what is that? Procedure. So the next token is procedure, and procedure means what? It is a keyword. If it is a keyword, what is the token type? Token type will be terminal symbol. So it will be available in which table? Terminal table. So what is the name of that class? TRM. So the class name is TRM, and in that terminal table, what is the index value of this procedure? We can look into terminal table. So here is the terminal table. So here is the entry for the procedure, and what is the index value for procedure? 8. So we can give the value as 8. Then we have a brackets here, and again it is a special symbol, so the it will be belong to the what class? TRM, terminal symbol, and it will be available in the table TRM, and the suppose the index is 3, so we will give the index. Okay, so here finally it will read the source program as IDN, TRM, 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 IDN, like that. That means the output of the lexical analyzer will be the stream of tokens. The output will be IDN, TRM, 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 IDN, TRM, IDN, etc. So on. Okay, so as I told you, when I explained one example, position equal to initial plus rate star 60, the output was ID1 equal to ID2 plus ID3 star 60. Like that we have given IDN, TRM, 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 IDN, TRM, like that will be the output of the lexical analyzer. So this stream will be the output of the lexical analyzer, that is the sequence of tokens. So the source program we have converted into a stream of tokens. So here we are not reading one character by character. The entire source program we have converted into a stream of tokens. That is the use of uniform symbol table. Uniform symbol table is just mentioning each token's class, and it will be generating the source program as a sequence of tokens. These are the databases using in the lexical analysis phase. So after the first step, that means recognizing the tokens, we will make entry for each tokens in the respective databases or tables. Now we are moving on to the algorithm for lexical analysis. Okay, so first we'll start from the first step. What is the first step? we have to, the input string is separated into tokens by break character. That means read character by character from the source program and recognize the tokens. How are we going to recognize the tokens? Each tokens will be separated by break character. What are the break characters? Blank space is a break character, operators are break characters, then special symbols are break characters. Okay, so tokens will be separated by break characters. Okay, so how can we know that whether it is a break character or not? It will be given from the terminal table. So when I explain the terminal table, it is a permanent database. So here we can see the symbols. So whenever we are reading character by character from the source program, check whether that character is a break character or not. So this indicator, if it is yes, that means it is a break character. So we can whenever we are reading character by character from the source program, compare that symbol or character with the terminal table. If it is a break character, we can stop there, and till that break character, what all non-break characters were there, it will group and it will form as a token. Okay, so in that way we will be recognizing the tokens. So tokens will be recognizing, and tokens will be separated by break character. And to check whether that particular symbol is a break character or not, we can refer the terminal table. In the terminal table, there is an column, that is indicator column. It will tell whether that symbol is a break character or not. If that field is if that column value is yes, which means it is a break character, otherwise it is not a break character. Then we have to read token by token. Okay, so we know that basically we have three types of tokens, that is terminal symbols. The information about the terminal symbols will be available in the table TRM. Then identifiers, the data will be available in the table IDN. Literals, that is the constants, so it will be available in the literal table, that is LIT. These are the three types of tokens. So what is the next step? Read token by token from the source program and make an entry into the respective tables. So we have mainly four tables: terminal table, identifier table, literal table, and uniform symbol table. So we have to make the entry for the each token into the respective table. So first we will check whether it is a terminal or not. Okay, so read first token and check whether it is a terminal symbol or not. How can we check that? Check into the terminal symbol. If there is a match for that particular token, what that particular symbol means it is a terminal symbol. So what we can do? So we are reading token by token from the source program. First we are checking that token in the terminal table. It is a permanent database, it is containing the terminal symbols. If we can find a match in the terminal table, which means what, it is of the type token terminal symbol, that time we can add an entry into the uniform symbol table. How can we add an entry? So the uniform symbol table is containing the table class. If it is a terminal symbol, the class will be TRM, and in that TRM terminal table, what is the index of that symbol? That index value will be added into the uniform symbol table. So we are reading token by token. So if that token, first will check in the terminal table. If there is a match, then we have to make an entry for that terminal symbol in the uniform symbol table. So when we are adding an entry into the uniform symbol table, the class of the token will be TRM, and in that TRM table, what is the index of that particular token, that index also will be added into the uniform symbol table. Then if it is not a uniform symbol, if it is not a terminal symbol, then we have to check for whether it is an identifier or literal. How can we do that? So take the token, and if the token satisfy the rules of forming the identifier, then we can say that it is an identifier, because for each and every language we will be having the regular expression or the grammar or set of rules. So for identifier there will be a rule, right? So if that particular token satisfies the rule of that forming an identifier, then we can say that the token is belonging to the identifier type. Okay, so identifier means what is the format? It will be starting with an alphabetic letter, and the maximum length will be 31 characters. So again, the 31 characters will be alphabetic characters or underscore. Okay, so if that token is of type identifier, we have to make entry in two tables, identifier table and uniform symbol table. So if that particular variable or the identifier is not already included in the identifier table, we have to add the name of that identifier into the identifier table. The remaining data, attribute and address information will be filled by coming phases. So at present, when we are reading the token, if it is an identifier, we have to add that identifier name into the identifier table. If it is already there, we have no need to add again. We can skip that. Then we have to make entry in the uniform symbol table also. That means what? Regardless of whether or not an entry has made, we have to make an entry for that token in the uniform symbol table. So if it is of the if we are reading the token of the identifier type, we have to make the entry in the identifier table, then as well as uniform symbol table. So when we are adding into the uniform symbol table, what will be the class type? Class type will be IDN, and for that token, what is the index value in the identifier table? That index value will be given in the uniform symbol table also. So if it is of identifier type token, we have to make entry in identifier table and uniform symbol table. In the identifier table, we will add only the identifier name, and if it is already there, we can skip that. But regardless of whether or not we have made entry in the identifier table, we have to make an entry in the uniform symbol table also with the class IDN and the index of that token in the identifier table. Then we have what? We have to check for the literals or the constants. Okay, so if that token is containing a number or a quoted character string, which means it is a constant, that time we have to make the entry in the literal table and again uniform symbol table. So if it is a constant type token, we have to make an entry for that particular constant in the literal table. Suppose we are reading the first constant as 31. What we have to do? So we have to enter the literals, base, scale and precision. By looking into the value of that, lexical analysis phase will come to know the first 4 column values. So these column values will be entered in the lexical analysis phase. The other 2 attributes values will be, the other information and address value will be added by the coming phases. Okay, so we have made the entry in the literal table. Similarly, regardless of whether we have done an entry in the literal table or not, definitely we have to make an entry in the uniform table. So when we are adding the uniform table, the table class will be of type LIT. Okay, so here I didn't mention. Okay, so that will be the table class will be LIT and the index of the particular token. That means if we are adding 31, so the class will be LIT and the index value, indexes, since it is the first one, the index value will be 1. So that so in that way we have to make an entry in the uniform symbol table also. So again I want to say, if it is a first we will start the token comparing with the terminal table. If it is matching that particular terminal symbol, we have to make an entry in the uniform symbol table. If it is not matching in the terminal table, check whether it is an identifier or constant, that is literal. If it is an identifier, make an entry in the identifier table as well as the uniform symbol table. Then if it is a constant or literal, we have to make the entry in literal table as well as uniform symbol table. Okay, so for all these three types of tokens, definitely an entry should be given in the uniform symbol table. So that is the main task of the lexical analysis phase. Thank you for listening. In the next videos we will be discussing about the next phases in the compiler.